for bonding with me on a life topic worth contemplating, which is you and your podcast and everything it offers, The Remedy.
You're so sweet, Mel. It's so good to see you. You're so beautiful. You're always just this beautiful breath of fresh air.
This is all about you, sister.
Kidding?
And I'm hoping that whomever's watching will receive whatever is intended for them to receive from us chatting. So thank you for joining me and bonding with me.
Thanks for having me. It's a privilege, really.
I feel like I met you maybe 10 years ago.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. You are a pastor. You're like a preacher. How cool is that? And you're like this spitfire, exciting, out of the box, challenge us in the way we think, from parenting to adoption to relationships. Across the board, I love how you challenge us all to think outside of the box and how you embrace life. And so you're also an author as well as a podcast host. Will you share with us just a little bit about the books that you've written?
I wrote these weekly thoughts and I compiled all of them into two books that are now devotionals. And then I started writing a book called Borrowed Courage probably 5 or 6 years ago. Put it down for a couple of years and then picked it back up and finished it 3 or 4 years ago. The story of my faith journey and just how at the end of the day we can, a lot of days we don't wake up feeling super courageous, but how on any given day there's courage to be borrowed from our Savior. And so just the times in my life where I didn't feel particularly courageous. I've had a lot of loss in my life. I've buried 3 children and had a miscarriage. I've lost my mom. I've been divorced, and that's just a lot of loss. I mean, I'm 48. It's not unheard of, but it was a lot to go through.
Right now, where we are in the world, I feel like there are people experiencing loss in ways they never even expected, from death to finances to identity, having to really dig and wait, I might not be who I thought I was because I had all these props around me and now everything's changed. I mean, so many layers to it. Can you tell us a little bit about experience of loss and how you got through it, challenging us all to live courageously?
Yes. I had one dream when I was young, and that was to be a mom. And so I got pregnant really easy, but over 5 years, I had four losses. I had a stillborn, I had a miscarriage, and then I gave birth to 2 children who passed away, both of them at 8 months with a disease called mitochondrial disease. So my ex-husband and I are both carriers of the same disease. And so it was a lot. It was a lot of loss. And after I lost my daughter, who was my last, I was suicidal. I lost Louisa, and it was it was kind of one of those moments that we all have at different times for different reasons. I know a lot of people are struggling right now. I mean, for various reasons to get out of bed, whether it's financial or they're lonely. I mean, what's funny, Melanie, or they've lost people, they've lost a loved one. There is so much loss right now, and there's so much loneliness right now. And that feeling of loneliness, we've all heard you can be in a crowded room and still feel really alone.
Yes, and we've both been there.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are experiencing emotions and feelings and heartache right now that they have never, we're all going through things that we never, ever thought we would go through.
Yeah.
And it does take courage. And it's all relative, and, everybody's going through something. In fact, I read in the Harvard Business Journal that the feeling that we're all feeling right now is loss, whether it's loss of connection, loss of going out to dinner, loss of our significant finances, loss of a job. I mean, 24 million people right now are have filed for unemployment. There's just a lot of days you don't have courage. You don't have the courage to keep going. You don't have the will. You don't have the fight.
Right.
And so we have to look around, right? We have to look around, and we have to borrow that courage from other people, other places. We have to dig deep. We have to fight. We have to pray. There's every person has a different solution, but giving up.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want giving up to be a solution, because the truth is, and I say this, now I counsel people, and I've counseled a lot of people through this who've just really been struggling. And I have told them, look, I promise you, there will be a day. We will say, remember when, this too shall pass.
Right.
It will. If you don't have the courage, borrow it.
I love what you're saying about tapping into borrowing courage, because so often I feel like we think we have to conjure it up ourselves, and sometimes we are just not capable. We don't have it within us. And so I love your challenging us, a thought worth instigating, to look outside of ourselves and pull and draw from those resources. And now is the time to look around and dig and figure out what are the resources that we have. And if we don't have any, now is the time to start finding them. Like you said, sometimes it's a podcast, sometimes it's the remedy, sometimes it's calling a friend, sometimes it's finding it within prayer. So I love you're challenging us all right now to really examine, like, where are we gleaning our courage from? Because we need it now more than ever.
Yeah, we do. And there are places, and there are people that you can borrow it from. And it's okay if you don't have it right now.
Right.
It's so okay. I think that years ago, my daughter, I was doing her hair in the morning, and I was trying to get all the lumps out of her, when you put a ponytail in, all the lumps.
Yes, to smooth it out.
Yes. And I was pulling it, and she's like, ow, ow. And she's like, Mom, that hurts. And I said, I'm trying to get all the lumps out. And she looked at me and she said, Mom, I don't feel like being perfect today.
Oh, yes. She's like, I am okay with my lumps. Okay? Whether you are or not, I am, which I love. And I love that she knew to tell you that. And she's like, Mom, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I've lived by that since. Like, I don't feel like being perfect today. I don't have to be perfect today.
And don't you feel like the less we pretend, which none of us are perfect, the more free other people are?
Oh, those are my best friends.
Yes.
The more imperfect you are, the better friends we are going to be.
Right. That's right.
Show me your lumps, because then I'll show you mine, and then that's what we'll bring together.
It's like, here, I'm going to show you my cellulite first, and then you can show me yours, and mine's going to look better because I'll have more.
Which will make us closer.
Yes, exactly. We can bond over cellulite. To me, I feel like people that are openly broken are so much more attractive. Like, I'm drawn to the people that have not just been broken, but they're openly broken, to where you're like, I love that I can see inside that broken clay pot and get to know you more. And I feel like where we are right now, people are more brokenly open. Are you seeing that too?
Yeah, I absolutely am seeing that. And I think, it's an interesting time, Melanie, and this is something that I found so fascinating about this. Just like the way humanity, like, everyone is so much kinder, whether you're on the street walking or you're at the grocery store. It's like, finally, like, I don't know how COVID is affecting you or your family, but I know it's affecting you, and you know it's affecting me. And so I'm just going to be a little kinder. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being a little kinder to me too.
Yes.
You feel it. And it's like, for the first time, and I'm 48 years old, for the first time in 48 years, every single person I see is going through some version of what I'm going through.
Yes.
And so it's like, it doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter what zip code, it doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter. We're all going through it, and I need you, and you need me.
Yes.
And that feels really good.
Yeah. Love that our senses are heightened.
Yes.
And we're
our
paying
compassion
attention.
is greater.
Yes. So that's where I love going, and even back to your courage. Like sometimes in the past, I feel like it might take more courage, even just to go out on a limb to make an extra effort for fear of being rejected and not being reciprocated or whatever that is.
Or why is she smiling? She's so weird.
Yeah, hello. Do we even need to go there? Like how many times, I don't even want to talk about, like, is she really like that? Is she really blah, blah? And I'm like, no, I just want to say hi. I don't care if you used to date my ex-boyfriend. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Or my husband, for that matter. Just kidding. Not really. Can I say all that? I can say that. But it's like we're more sensitive.
Yeah, we are.
Let's talk about your podcast. It's clearly making such a positive impact on the world. Will you talk to me about what motivates you, how you keep going, how you're consistent on top of being a single mom, single parent? How do you do it?
So I started the podcast almost 2 years ago. I love it. I'm almost to 100 episodes. I think we're going to have a big party or something when COVID's all over. The whole point of the remedy is to offer remedies to live a happier, healthier, more abundant life. So just like you alluded to in the beginning, we talk about everything. We've talked about eating disorders, sex, relationships, faith. There's something for everybody. I try to make it relevant to what's happening in the world. It's taken off in a way that I never expected. I just feel like when you live your calling, the world, the universe, God, everybody just kind of gets behind you.
Yes, because you're in the flow. You're in the flow.
You're in the flow.
Yes. And your favorite person to interview and why? Or your favorite topic if you don't want to single out anyone.
An interview I did with a guy who you know very well, Mike McGuire.
Okay, I can't tell you I love that podcast with Mike. Like I sent it to my son, I sent it to my husband. It's so good. It's really good. It's
phenomenal. I interviewed him on how to live intentionally, and I learned so much. He's just a very disciplined man who takes this life not too seriously, but seriously. You know, it's a gift, and the way he lives his life with such intention that I learned so much. And I've had people stop me more times than I can count and say, oh my gosh, that interview with Mike McGuire was phenomenal. It is phenomenal for men of all ages, especially. Every woman wants their husband to listen to that
I clearly did. I sent it for it and my son. I mean, really, I think every man needs to listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need to put that link somewhere within this video because it is from leveling up. I mean, it calls us to be more. Just the message in itself. And you're so good at drawing that out as far as making such purposeful conversations to where they do get us thinking. I remember, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to like totally reorder my life? And it challenged me.
My favorite guest, I have to say, is my counselor, Janice.
Yeah.
So smart. And she is, I tell people all the time, if it weren't for Janice, Jesus, and a few dear friends, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah. Well, we need a support system, don't we?
Yes, and we've all got to find it.
Yes. Like, what are some dreams that you have not fulfilled yet in your life?
I have lots of dreams. I dream of watching my kids grow and being a grandma and having everybody at my house and growing old and cooking and I have dreams of I feel like I'm kind of living my dream. My flow is to inspire and help and bring other people hope and joy.
Right.
that don't have any. My dream is to do that, whatever, whether it's speaking or podcast or writing more or doing interviews like this, just creating hope for people that may not feel like they have much. That's my dream.
It makes me teary because I think about all the struggles that you've been through. And we just briefly touched on the loss. We didn't go deep, but I can't even imagine. So we look at the struggles and the loss and the grief and the pain, and then we look at what you're saying your dreams are, to offer hope, to inspire, and look at the battle that you've been through to where you are now, still saying that. And that's my hope for someone watching that might be in the middle of that pain right now, listening to you coming out of, you know what, I want to be a vessel. I want to be someone that inspires. I can't even believe the magnitude of what you've been through. Now fast forward, flipping it into the magnitude of the impact, right?
Wow.
That your
Thank you,
life
Melanie.
can be used for is just unfathomable, and that's for all of us.
Yes, it is. That, like, I just think no matter what, there's always hope. There's always hope.
And for you to say that, Tova,
it's true, though. Somebody had told me when I was in the middle of my struggle and my heartache and my deep depression, I probably would have never believed them.
Right.
But, and I told you, I contemplated suicide. I was just too chicken to do it. I wanted to die, though. I really did want to die because living was not fun. I mean, I hated my life. I hated my life.
Yeah.
But thank God I was too chicken to go through with it, because I look at, I just believe anybody, no matter what, can get to the other side. You just have to keep going.
Yes.
You just have to keep going.
When we get in that depression, and mine was postpartum related, we are not thinking straight. We are not thinking clearly, which gives me more empathy for people right now.
Yes.
What is tomorrow going to bring, right? Think of even the fear. And so I love that you're open about contemplating suicide. I'm open about the times that I did. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with us, right?
No.
And I think sometimes there's this shame or attachment to being at that state in our lives, but it's so important for those of us that have wrestled with it to talk about it.
Statistics show that if you live long enough, it will have at least crossed your mind, at least once, if not twice.
Right.
Because of something.
Yes.
Because of something.
Yeah. Moving forward with you and your family and your dreams and your podcast and your living your dream. Am I allowed to talk about dating with you right now or no?
Oh,
Is
sure.
that off limits? Are we dating anyone?
I am dating someone.
We are? Okay. But we're not. Do we talk marriage or no?
No.
Okay. So we're happily dating.
Yes.
Okay. And then the kids are good?
And the kids are phenomenal.
Oh, how old?
I adopted 3 children from Africa 10 years ago. And they were 6, and 5. So now they're 16, 15.
That's a lot of kids that are teenagers. Oh, my land.
You want to know what's something amazing, Melanie? Is they're so sweet.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm going to insert picture right here with your permission.
Okay, I'll send you one to post because
I love that.
love them. They're amazing kids.
I'm so glad. How are they doing with all the homeschooling and everything?
They're doing great.
Yeah?
They really are. I mean, they miss their friends. I miss my friends, don't you?
I miss my friends.
I miss my friends.
We miss y'all friends. We miss y'all.
Totally.
Okay if I miss the martini from Honor Bar?
Yes, I miss mine from Hudson House.
Yeah. Oh, I need to have one of those. My last question is, do you have any life lessons you've learned from that you would like to pass on to us listeners?
I think one of the most beautiful lessons I've learned as a woman is to be good to other women.
That's good. So good.
I think that we spend so much time not being each other's cheerleaders, not being kind. You know, who we are to women as other women is so important. And if women, there was an episode that Janice and I talked about why people cheat. And she said, and maybe it was why men cheat, but she said, if women would stop doing that to other women, if women just stopped sleeping with married men.
Seriously, yes.
Like, that would change the trajectory of the world. Women have a lot of power with other women.
Right.
And I would just say, be kind and be encouraging and be cheerleaders, and don't gossip and don't backstab, and get behind other women. And there are so many good women. There are so many good people.
Yes.
I have such good friends. Like, my friends do not gossip. We are each other's biggest cheerleaders. We encourage each other. Like, I trust them completely. You know, it does exist.
Yes, it does.
It does exist. And so find it.
Yes.
Like,
you might have to till your garden a little bit, but it does exist. I love that.
Find your tribe.
I
find
love
a
that.
good tribe.
Yes.
And be a good tribe member.
Yes.
Because if you're not dead, you're not done. And I just think we have all been created for a beautiful purpose. And I just do. I think that every single person with a breath was put here for great purpose. And I think it's our job and our privilege to find that purpose and find your flow and live it, and live it unapologetically. And if you're not dead, you're not done. And so don't keep going. Don't give up.
Well, I want to thank you for living a life unapologetically as you challenge us to be free, to be ourselves. Yes. I love following you. I love looking at your pictures on Instagram. I love how you challenge us. I love how you make us laugh. I love how you live in freedom, and that inspires and challenges us to live freely. So I just can't thank you enough, Tova, for your time and sharing your treasure with us.
You are also a huge inspiration and blessing to so many, and you bless me all the time. So thank you. Keep going.
I love it. I love it,
sister.
I love the love fest. I love the love. I do.
See, that's what we should be doing to each other.
Yes. Well, thank you for giving me your time. That's what we're doing right now. Thank you. I adore you. Thank you for bonding with me and letting us into your world for a little glimpse into Tova Sido. You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mwah.